Yeah.
Okay, we're live. Hi,
And
everybody.
again, I find myself in another spot in Taos, New Mexico. Found myself a little corner here.
You're the traveling tarot. You're
the world traveler.
And that's what I used to do. I used to do the traveling tarot card of the day. Yeah, it was
cool.
That was my start in 2017 on YouTube.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And you can tell it was so popular. Anyway, so
here you are. You're still here, Debbie.
Well,
so
I am still here, but
must have been something.
Yeah, it was the politics. When I got into politics, that's the breakthrough, right?
Right.
I think that's a pretty much across the board experience for most people.
If you post something about politics, especially 45, boom.
Yep, that was what happened. It was like the Great Awakening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys can hear me? Everybody can hear me okay?
Yep.
All right.
Happy Monday. Happy Ladies' Night.
Yes, happy Ladies' Night. Hello, everyone in the chat. Hello. Hello, Love, Peace, and Virginia, and Ron, and Louisa, Kate.
Georgie.
Everybody's here. And as we read, don't be, feel free to post questions. If you have questions for the people we'll be talking about or bringing in, please, feel free to be part of the questions. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, join in the conversation. Yeah,
exactly. So let's see. So we're gonna go.
Before we move on,
go ahead.
The place I'm staying in right now, it's a B&B. It's totally haunted.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's been interesting.
Wow.
To say the least. Yeah.
So you might have another guest there while we're reading.
Maybe we'll see.
Wow. Are they just drawn to you because you're there, or do you think it's always haunted?
No, I don't think it's me. I think because so my daughter's friend from when they were in second grade or whatever came to visit her here in Taos. And so he rented this B&B. It's like a 3-story, really unique, like literally it's one room per story, like a multi-purpose one room thing. It's really weird. Interesting. I shouldn't say weird. Very interesting, unique. Anyway, he and I knew when I walked in, I'm like, oh, okay, we're not alone here. But I didn't say anything. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you.
Hi, Suzanne. Thank you.
I knew that we're not alone, but I didn't want to say anything. And then this morning, he said, I woke up at 4 and I kept, there was someone coming up the stairs and I thought it was you. And these are small wooden stairs. You can hear each step going. And and he's like, and then all of a sudden I knew that it wasn't you. And it kept happening over and over again, these footsteps up the stairs.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you we're definitely not alone here, but they don't mean any harm.
Oh,
thank you, Flora. This is the natural Taos look for my hair. You can't do much else here.
It's pretty. Yeah.
Flora,
it's so interesting. Do you know anything about the property or about who lived there?
I don't. But when I was connecting today, because he and Sierra are out and about, and I worked today, and so I kind of walked around, just kind of talking and checking in. Just said, we're just here visiting, whatever, and no harm, no foul. But leave Nick alone. He doesn't need to hear you.
Right.
And it is hot here, Connie. It is Hades hot. Connie's like, is it hot there? Very hot. Anyway, so and I got a drop in at the moment that pretty much so many of the places here, anywhere, even if we went to another place, because he's like, should we leave? And I'm like, no. it is going to be, you're going to be sharing it with people. Most anywhere in Taos, it feels like you're going to be sharing it with people that have passed. And I don't think that it's necessarily connected to this house. It could be something in this house that it kind of came along with, because they repurposed a lot of the wood and some of the antiques they've brought in. Also the land right here is very active. Mm-hmm. So,
wow.
Yeah. So very interesting.
That is very interesting. Well,
to say the least, he didn't get much sleep last night because he kept
that's
thinking, oh my gosh. He just didn't want him. He's like, are they going to show themselves? You know.
Yeah, if people that so never happens. I mean, it just doesn't. It's so unusual to see.
Very unusual
it's really unusual to see
them to expend that much energy to reveal themselves. But they have been playing with me today with lights, turning off and on lights, and I'll leave a room and the light will turn back on. You know, like that.
Oh wow!
Go back in and turn it off and stuff like that. So they've been kind of playing around with that.
Well,
yes, bloody battles here. Yep, for sure.
Oh, right.
So that I guess that's why it's so active here. Hi, T Barb.
Interesting.
That is weird. I was looking at the chat and I'm like, where's T Barb? I'm like, T Barb coming in today, and there she is.
There she is. All right. Okay, guys. So, where do we start? Let me think. Am I first? Because
I think you're first. I think you're first today.
I think you're first. Yeah.
And I picked a living person, so very unusual for me. Usually, I'm with the ones that have passed. But today, my lady that I picked is Barbra Streisand.
Yay!
It's one of my favorites of all the favorites since I was a little girl.
Well, yeah, because you're a singer.
Yeah, she taught me how to sing. I mean, I really learned how to sing listening to her and just mimicking what she would do with her voice. So she's amazing. I got to see her live, which was amazing. Wow. When she did a tour, at first I thought I'll never see her live because she only did like these backyard concerts for her celebrity friends. I thought, I'll never ever see her, but I did. She did like a world tour kind of thing, and I got to see her. But she was, I think she was born in Brooklyn. I want to make sure, but I think she was born in Brooklyn.
Right.
Right. And she was, from early on, she was told again and again and again to get a nose job, to not act so Jewish, which was actually what people would tell her, to play down her Jewishness. And she was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any of that. And not only that, she would kind of troll them by always doing the profile, like on her album covers and stuff. She would show her profile to show that she was proud of who she was. And such a brave thing to do at that time, because it was like the early 60s, that era. Yes. And wasn't exactly a popular thing to do, to go up against the system and be like, no, I'm not doing that. And she became really famous by her first Broadway role, which was in Funny Girl, which was made into a movie, and that kind of launched her into the stratosphere. She won an Oscar right off the bat. She has gone on to, she writes music, she directs, she makes films, she acts, she does everything. She's a Democrat. She's been a lifelong Democrat. She always gives to the Democratic Party all the time. She even came out of her semi-retirement to do a special single for the kids at the border, for everything that was happening at the border. So she did like a special song to raise money for that. And she's just some chick.
I follow her on Twitter.
Me
She's
too.
very
Me
active.
too.
Yes, she's very active
Yeah.
politically. And I just want to let people know as they're hello, everyone coming in. So what we do here, this is a little different platform, is that we come in already with chosen people that we're going to read. It's not an open Q&A. However, that being said, when we are reading someone, you're welcome to be a part of that and ask questions. People are asking for us to read certain people. So we come in already knowing that we want to read certain people today. Yeah. So we choose. We get to choose at this time.
But during the week, if you want to contact us by email or you can suggest people, and we have taken suggestions before.
Absolutely. So. Yes.
So Barbra Streisand is 79 years old. And to me, I don't think there's a voice like that. It's from another world or another plane or something. Mm-hmm. It's the most beautiful voice. And I read a review or whatever, and the man called her peerless. And I think that's a pretty good statement for her musical gift.
Yeah.
There's no voice like it. And I think she's stunning. I think a nose job would take away from, she's just so beautiful. Her blue eyes and her strong nose and her hair and her, it's just, I'm glad she didn't change how she looked.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it always that happens so often though, where the thing that they think is their worst trait or whatever, that ends up being like their iconic feature or the thing that the thing that you recognize about them. Yep. It happens all the time. So don't listen to, if you're in that kind of world, don't listen to that stuff. It's so wrong. They're always so wrong. So yeah. I was just looking when she was born. I was wanting to see when she was born. April 24th, 1942. Yeah.
April 24th.
She was born in New York City. She was born in New York City, but she did move to Brooklyn at some point because I know she's considers herself a Brooklynite. Okay, so I just wanted to check in with her and see what she's about, and yeah. So let's check in.
Dated a lot of famous men.
She did.
She did.
She was only married once, though, to Elliot Gould, and they have one son together. And that was it. I can't remember her boyfriend now is, what's his face?
He's an actor, very handsome man. Josh Brolin's father.
Right.
What's his name? Something Brolin.
Something Brolin. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but yeah.
James Brolin. Thank you.
James Brolin. Thank you. Okay.
Barbra Streisand. It's Barbra. She took the A out of her name. Someone told her to change her name, and all she did was take the A out of the Barbara.
I love her. Yeah, I'm just checking in, with her, and she definitely she has her energy is a sense of, that she lives by her rules. Like, you're not going to. Did she have a very strong, I feel like she was, there's somebody in her life, like a male, it could be her dad, that was very supportive and really was like that strength beneath her. Like, you can be anything, you're beautiful, never, gave her that strength underneath, so she didn't question when people was like, you need to have a nose job. She's like, what? You know what I mean? So I feel like,
yeah, her father passed when she was a baby. So I wonder if it was baby. So around her giving her that.
That's interesting because I usually would say her dad immediately, and that I was hesitant because I didn't sense a dad, but I sensed a male figure. So was it her grandfather maybe?
Possibly. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, her dad died when she was 2. So thank you, T-Barb. So yeah, but some influence, a male influence, told her, and she believed him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, her, I don't know how to say this. Her journey here, she's connected. So I would say I don't know if she's someone from the past or if she's directly connected. I think her gifts are angelic. Is that a good word to use?
Divine.
Gifts.
Right.
Yeah.
So it says she was kind of raised by her grandparents. So I wonder if it's the grandfather.
It must have been her grandfather.
Because I also feel a lot of strong female energy that she witnessed. A lot of women that were good role models as she was growing up. Just strong women around her. That's what I feel as well. I actually feel like her energy's a lot calmer than I thought it would be. I feel like I was expecting like kind of there's definitely a strength to it, but I expected like a more forceful, like that kind of energy, but it's not. It's actually quite soft and quite calm. I actually feel like she's really enjoying this time in her life. Like she's kind of liking not doing whatever she wants to do, not having to do stuff she doesn't want to do. I feel like she kind of likes being a little retired. I think she enjoys it. And I feel like she has other things she likes to do, like small things like knitting or whatever, or playing with her animals or something, like small things she likes to do, just like puttering around. I think she enjoys it. I think she likes it.
Yeah. To Andrea says the divine gift, abilities that she came with. I can absolutely back that up. You have the magician and temperance coming in. That is definitely talking about the divine backing that she has right there. That has made her into who she is. And look at that little animal right now. So the Queen of Pentacles does have that down-to-earth feeling with her.
Yeah.
Like you're saying. However, all that being said, yes, that is truth about her. She's still working through some things right now. She's working through some regrets and some heartache currently. But the key word there is working through. She's not going to let that get her down. She's working through. She's not one to sit in that pain or allow it to take over. She will work it through for that higher enlightenment for herself. And look at it, she's going to step right into that empress.
Oh, yeah.
She came in as the queen, and now she's the empress, and things will expand for her. But she, like all of us, has stuff to work through, and that's what she's doing now, and then stepping into that. Again, I like her spirit in that, she feels it and stuff, but she's not going to let it get her down.
She's hilarious too. She was so funny in Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman's wife and Ben Stiller's mother role. Oh my! I screamed when I didn't know she was in it. And I was like, no, so good, and she was fantastic, so funny.
Awesome, yeah.
Look at this, folks. Unfinished Symphony. I think there might be another album coming.
Oh, I hope so.
I bet she's going to draw from her empress.
Right? Don't count her out yet. I can't wait. She doesn't.
I know.
Do not count her out. She has more message, and part of that divine person coming in, that divine abilities and stuff like that, it wasn't just for her. Obviously, it's a global. She changed the globe, but also, like you were saying, as a woman, as a Jewish woman, back in the 50s and 60s, it was not easy. She changed. She pressed forward enlightenment to the world.
Right.
And to release some of that prejudice and racism, not only towards a woman, but a Jewish woman and the community there. So raised awareness. And that was part of her contract, coming in and having these unique abilities to sing. But part of her contract was literally changing that face, the prejudice and all that was going on, and still is going on to an extent, obviously, but she brought in an awareness and an awakening.
Thank you, Mindset, Lorraine. Thank you.
She's also a philanthropist, if I can say it properly. She gives a lot of money. She started some things as well. One's in honor of her father. So she's, she gives back.
She's a perfectionist, though. It's funny with what Debbie was saying. I feel like there's a tendency to constantly be in self-improvement mode, whether it's small things or big things, mentally, physically, emotionally, constantly trying to find a way to get better, to better herself. And so I think that what you were saying, Debbie, about working through some heartache and things like that, I think that's part of that. I think it's kind of like she's just always, like you said, not one to really sit on her laurels. She really is always trying to be a better person in every way. But I also think it's kind of a burden as well, because she can't cut it off. She can't shut it off. Like she's always wanting to be better, to get better, but it can be a burden.
And she also doesn't want to leave this earth with regrets.
Right.
She feels like
she's married to James Brolin. Sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't really know they got married. I guess I'm missing that. It was probably a secret, so I don't know.
Missed the wedding.
She feels like she's a woman you'd want to sit down and have dinner with, right? And just hear her stories and talk about events, world events, and the changes she's seen in her life and been part of. I think she'd be a great conversationalist.
She's always on my dinner guest list. Whenever you do like the 3 or 4 people you'd have to dinner, I always pick, and I always pick the one that you're going to do too, Andrea. I always pick her too. But
you have to pick first next time.
I also feel like she would be asking. She'd want to know about you as well,
right?
So it wouldn't be that she'd just sit there and be talking. She'd want to ask questions about you too. She truly would want to know.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I get that too, Debbie, that she's not self-centered. She's self-aware. And I think she was always trying to, but I think she's very hard on herself, actually. I feel like but you're right. I don't feel like she's self-centered in that way. And like Donald Trump, if you went to dinner with him, he'd only be talking about himself. He would not even know you were there. I feel it would be the opposite. I think
I wouldn't even be able to eat.
in you.
Not on the dinner guest list.
So we throw up at our dinner.
He's on who is not on the dinner.
Sorry to bring him up. I don't know why I said that, but he's just the one person I can think of who's self-centered that yeah. But yeah. So well, good. Thank you. Thanks for indulging me with that one.
Love her. Yes, and I want. If she comes, you need to invite us too, because we want to meet her too. She comes to dinner. Andrea and I will fly out to dinner if you invite her and she comes.
Yes. I'll waitress if you need an extra hand, just so I can be there.
Okay. Well, I said she's probably watching. I can just ask her now, right?
Yeah, true.
Barbra.
Barbra.
when you're in Vallejo.
And
Next time you're in Canada, Babs, come on. Yeah, really a very nice energy.
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful. Okay, well, that was fun.
So
Love-
who is next?
I guess that would be me if you take away the title.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yes. So the next choice is the one I made, and it is Princess Diana,
Okay.
a lady that needs no introduction.
Yes.
One of the most famous women in the world, one of the most photographed women in the world, a beautiful woman, complicated woman, an interesting life, and a tragic end. 36 years old, she passed away in a car accident. And, married a prince, fathered a future king and a prince as well. Or sorry, mothered, not fathered. Why did I say fathered?
Well, she kind of was mother and father, because I don't think
Yes, she was. Yeah.
Charles was that
Did it all.
around very much.
So we know that she sort of broke away a bit from the royal family and became a big activist, for AIDS, leprosy, cancer, landmines, just all of these big topics. And she went in fearlessly, hugging and kissing and, embracing all of these people who you never really saw that happen before, right? And she was educated about the situation, and she was making them feel safe, and it showed all of us that it was safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, she had her issues, but she certainly made the world a better place. And we saw the outpouring when she passed away, like the waves of grief that just went on and on. And to this day, she's still talked about. I think there's a new statue going to be unveiled soon.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and William will be there. And because she passed away August 31st. So I guess the statue will be going up in the next month or so.
Wow.
So, lovely Princess Diana, completely photogenic, lovely, gracious. The outward Diana we saw was a little bit different than the one who was suffering inside, but we always presented so lovely. I think that was to help us all believe in good things, right? And we didn't want to know that she wasn't happy all the time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think she was the first royal to not wear gloves when she was meeting with the public.
Whoa.
I think she was the first one to do that. Someone can correct me if that's wrong, but I think she was. To meet like skin to skin, to hold people's hands and, not wear gloves, because that was a thing.
Oh, the statue's July 1st, which would have been her 60th birthday. That's what Chris is saying.
Oh,
I think. Or at least that's July 1st is her 60th birthday. So that's just in next week.
Maybe it will be there when we're there. That would be great.
Yeah, I bet you're going to be there when they do it.
Yeah. Well, I know they have her wedding dress on display right now in Kensington Palace.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they've got the statue too. We're definitely going.
I love it.
Okay.
And she was the people's princess. She connected so much. You didn't know her, but you felt like you did. You cared about her, and you never met her, but she just had that energy and that charm and that charisma, and something pure about her was coming through her, right? I'd say something divine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
absolutely. We all saw it. We all connected.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, such a sympathetic character. We saw her get married at 19. She was so young, and kind of have to go through hell in the public eye, but also, you know, she could convey a lot through what she wore, how she moved, how she, the relationship she had with the camera. You felt like you said, Andrea, you kind of felt like you knew her and what was happening with her as well, because you'd hear these things and then you'd see her, and it really was, it just made her so sympathetic, I think, to
approachable, authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Susan says, I would love to know if you could see her spirit around her statue with your app, like you did in the cemetery, Kim.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Done and done. If we're able to
Susan's giving you some homework.
Yeah, yeah. We are going to visit a couple of cemeteries in England, so just they're so old, you know, so it'd be fun to do. So we'll do a couple of those there.
That would be interesting. So cool. All right. So, you know, she came in, and it's so interesting because it's like she's sitting at a table, and you know, she knows you're going to be asking her some questions and about her personally and stuff like that, and she's like concentrating on spreading out the tablecloth smoothly, you know, not like really doing the eye contact if you're talking about her personally. I feel like she came in like that because literally that is something she dealt with. You know what it's like. You go to a dinner party, you're meeting people, and they're asking you personal questions. It's like, this is a little, for me, and even though I can press through and do it, I have an issue talking about myself, and that is where she's linking back these issues going back about normal, typical issues that a lot of us deal with. Self-esteem. Are we worthy? You know, are we pretty? You know, all the things that humanity and society has put on us as women, and especially back in that time, in her time, that time period, the 60s and 70s, and you know, I know that a lot of us can, and this is why we connect with her so well, and why it feels like, yeah, we know her, she's one of us, like that, because she literally played out in front of us what we were feeling on the inside, trying to break through. But hers was even stronger because of that needing to be like, am I worthy? I just want to be loved. She said, I just want to be loved. Can't someone just love me just for who I am? Just love me. So this is like a mantra that she had playing, she's saying. And she says she knows that a lot of us feel that way. A lot of us are just saying, we just want to be loved. Why can't you just love me? And that's exactly her. And so as far as connecting on a human level, she just wanted to be loved. And she gave so much love, like you described. She was an instrument of love, but she just wanted to be loved.
And the whole world loved her, but I don't, you know.
See, that's different. Yeah,
it's different. Lovely.
I heard when you're in that deep, she's saying when you're in that deep into that, like her emotional body, you can have billion people saying and sending you love and sending you cards of love, sending you gifts of love. You can't feel it because you don't see it in yourself. And also the person that it's supposed to be giving you that love is not, right? So in your own home or whatever.
Yeah, she was certainly let down by people close to her. Her husband, I think her mother left the home early on.
So that rejection piece there. And so it all plays a part of setting her up to be who she was.
Mhm.
There's
She was
something
one of
about,
us.
sorry, Debbie. There's something about that she's bringing up about intimacy as well, because she's saying that her parents they did not have a normal relationship at all, and then and she always craved, you're right, love, but she's talking about like being like intimate, being like held, and that kind of like intimacy, closeness, being touched. And she's saying that was not normal in her family. And then she went to this other family that was really not a normal thing at all.
Yeah.
And she craved just being held close and touched. And that's why she was so like that with other people, because she knew that's what people wanted, especially she's saying like old people and like the people that had AIDS and things that people didn't want to touch. They were kind of, she knew instinctively how important it was to reach out and touch these people, because that's what she wanted. And yet they were in these circumstances where people didn't want to. They didn't want to. So she knew instinctively to do that because she craved that. And she still has I don't say a problem, but she's still hoping the royal family changes, that she did start a change in that whole thing, because she's saying the pomp and circumstance, that kind of stuff, she found very embarrassing. It was too much. It was over the top. It was outdated. It was weird. And it's like, it was embarrassing. And so she was hoping she could change that and bring a more like normal, make them seem more normal and more down to earth and with the people than how they are, kind of up in their castle, that kind of thing. She likes what we do as well. She's saying she always knew there was validity to this. She's saying she was a bit psychic, a bit. Okay,
yeah, connected.
Yeah.
I think she had a hand up into the sky. She was definitely connected.
Yeah.
And I think, I know we don't like the outcome, but I think her life was on purpose. I think her destiny was on purpose. As awful as the ending was, everything, all the sadness she went through, everything she went through was on purpose for her to become who she was. And she showed a light to the whole world. Who does that? Right?
Yeah.
That's huge. I also heard when I was shuffling Charlotte, she's quite taken with little Charlotte. Prince William's daughter, little Charlotte. She's quite taken with her.
Oh, cute.
I bet. She was just highlighting her boys, so that makes that you're bringing them up. That was the first time she really, really connected with love. Like,
yes,
this is love. This is what love is. Oh, wow. So she took her role as a mom seriously. Yeah. It was like she finally had an awakening in that love. This is love. Mm-hmm. And but also within that, you also see what you didn't get and what you need to work on. So, but yeah, she's highlighting her boys. I see also that she's kind of shining a light in front of them. So I feel like she's helping with guiding their paths, helping them along the way.
Also, I just got the message here that even though she had everything, she was still unhappy. She suffered with self-worth issues. So the message is, it's about, you literally have to love yourself. The rest isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah.
If you're a princess with a crown on your head, you can still be depressed and not like yourself, right?
Right.
The amount of money in the bank or the jewels you're wearing doesn't change it.
Yeah.
It's all about yourself. You got to love yourself first.
Right. Right. She, she's, I'm feeling like she's worried about Harry. She's worried about them, that couple, Harry and what's her name?
Megan.
Megan. She's worried about them. She's like, I don't worry so much about William and Kate. It's almost like they're built for this.
Yeah.
These two over here, they're not built for this. She's worried about them because she just feels like it's similar to what she went through, kind of. I feel like there's some similarities there. She doesn't like it though. She's a bit worried about them. And how it's affecting them, how all of this is affecting them. Their mental health, their psyche, their kids, she's worried about it. She's around them a lot. I feel like she's around them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like she has the same kind of worry for William and Kate. I feel like they're fine. They have accepted their fate more. They're more accepting of how their life is. These two over here, they're having a hard time. It's hard for them. It's difficult. I'm worried. I'm with them all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense to her shining that light.
Yeah.
It's okay. Here you go. Like trying to really guide.
She's asking us to pray for them.
Okay.
She's asking us to pray for them. So pray for Harry and
it really does make a difference, the energy that you push out there. So if people are pushing all this negative energy towards them, what's going to happen?
Right.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So the positive prayers.
I keep feeling like she's angelic. Like I don't know what it takes to be an angel, but she's really surrounded by them, or has always been. They're shone through her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. It's really powerful.
Yeah, I think you're right, Andrea. She's just such a high vibration. It does feel angelic to me.
Yeah.
As well.
I don't think I've felt that yet on someone that I can remember. I don't think she's coming back too soon. And like.
I don't think so either. I feel like she's going to work through people or work with people, but I don't feel like she's going to come back either. Not in the same way that we think, though. Maybe she'll send like parts of her energy or something. It's not really. I don't feel like the whole her is coming back. You know what I mean? It's like it was unusual that she was here in that form or something. It's like I don't think she'll. Yeah. But I feel like she'll be she's definitely involved like here, but I just feel like it's not.
It feels like she's watching over the earth. Like she wants to know everything still. But I don't think she's going to come back anytime soon in the physical world.
No, I don't think so either. There's a man with her. I kind of know the men in her life, so I'm trying to figure out who this is. I don't know who it is. I don't feel like it's like her dad or like her boyfriend. I don't feel like it's like that. I'm trying to figure out who this is. I want to say Michael. Could it be like Angel?
Oh.
What? Okay.
When you said that just earlier, you're like, I see her with a man. I just don't know. I don't know who it is, and I don't see it. And I'm like, and she said to me, Michael. And I'm like, Michael. I'm like, who's Michael? And I'm just thinking, I'm sitting here, and I was going to say it in a little bit when you're done talking, and you're like, I'm here, Michael. It's Michael, you guys.
I told you I felt.
And earlier when Andrea's like, she's angelic, or there's angels around, and I look over and I see this huge entity, like totally around her. I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow. And everybody's like, why isn't Debbie talking? And I'm like, well, I'm just in this trip over here. I'm in this total zone trip. And then Kim's like, Michael. I'm like,
how weird. Mind blown. What?
I told you, I'm crying now.
Oh my gosh.
She's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is or is completely surrounded by.
Yeah.
Instrument.
An angel instrument.
That is crazy.
So she's being taken care of, everyone. We can relax, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But still, yeah, interesting.
Absolutely.
My mind's still blown on Michael.
Yeah, I didn't know what we were going to see when we got into her energy.
Right.
But, wow. She's even more than I thought she was. Yeah. Very important.
Well, there's something about too that it was a life of sacrifice. It really was a lot of sacrifice, and so I think that kind of, I mean, we're here to learn as spirits, right? And so I feel like that just elevated something with her, that she is now an angel, or she's hanging out with the angels, but it just elevated her spiritual growth immensely.
And it's interesting. She died in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's another kind of connection to some of these angels that walk the earth, higher masters, or whatever.
It felt like all that suffering she went through was like I said, it was on purpose. Yeah. It was part of her purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, Andrea.
Wow. I thought I loved her before.
I know.
Super love her now.
Ooh, I know.
Oh, goosebumps. Thank you, Princess Diana.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay. Miss Debbie, you're up.
Okay. Well, we're going into a whole different energy here. Very, very interesting and fun, hopefully. It seems like it might be a little fun here, you guys. So y'all ready out there? We are going to look at and tap into and talk to, hopefully, Pamela Colman Smith. And Pamela Colman Smith was an artist, a very special artist. She was, if you ever have seen the Rider Waite tarot deck, she is the artist. So she's the Smith on that, right?
Such an inspired choice, Debbie. I love that you chose this.
I love that too.
I'm so excited.
Actually, I think it was Wayne. Wayne is the one who, after last week, made comment on the comments and said, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I would love, So yeah, that was awesome choice. Okay, so she's a very dramatic looking person, way before her time. In fact, when I was looking at this picture, and you know how when you can look at a picture and really kind of tap into that, it was almost like I got the feeling, and I'm going to show you guys the picture in a second, but I almost got the feeling of someone who lived, let's say, like in the present now, but went back into a time machine to live in the past. That is exactly the feeling I got. I am not one of those people. I don't know anything about that, but that's the feeling I got. It was like she was so different, and she had these ideas of what we'd have today, but she was bringing them then. She was an artist. She died a poor artist. They had to sell a bunch of her art just to pay off her debts. And what was left actually went to her flatmate that she had been with for over 40 years. And so they believe that she and this other gal were lovers, partners. But of course, they didn't say that back then, right? So I'm going to go ahead and show you this picture. And you can notice like the gobs of necklaces she has, the way she's wearing her earrings and her hair, and the way she's sitting, her smile, everything about it. Tell me what you guys think if you feel that whole going back in the future and living out a different timeline.
I love that photo. There's so much character. When I was looking at it today, I was like, like you said, you can connect with that photo.
Yeah. So, yeah. So what the deal is, the weight guy contacted her and said, "Hey, I'm going to pay you this flat fee. I need 78 paintings or whatever for this project I'm doing, the cards, right?" She ended up making 80 paintings, and she said she wrote a friend and said, I just finished a huge job for zero money, like very little money. And she, over the years, some of you are probably, oh yes, that's right. Thank you, T-Barb. Her nickname was Pixie, so that's how everybody knew her as Pixie. Anyway, so for the longest time, you only know of the Rider Waite guy or whatever, the dude. She's the one, like she made all those traditional, and I
think it was called the Rider Waite Smith, and then didn't her name get dropped and then maybe put back?
Right. Yes, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't have it with me. That I have it somewhere. It's just not up here. The deck. I brought it with me, and I, of course, don't have it here. Anyways, so you can see, all the ins and outs. So her mom was from Jamaica, and her dad was an American. So, but they lived in London. She was born in London. So she did a lot of travel from Jamaica to London, from London, to the States. So a lot of the sea pictures, they feel a lot of the things that she brought into there was personal to her, because she was on a boat a lot, growing up, going back and forth between all these places. So very interesting character. Before her time, she lived by her rules. She again was the artist. Let's see.
She had some connected friends too. She was hanging around Bram Stoker, who did Dracula, and she illustrated, I think, a couple of his books. She did other people's books. She had a magazine for a while, so she was somewhat established. She was known, and a very interesting look to her art.
Yeah, yes. That was what I was looking for. There's a certain name to her. Was it Nouveau art?
It was a certain style. I can't remember the name. Sorry.
It might be Nouveau. I forgot the name as well. But she suffragette. So she was very progressive.
Yes. Women's rights, the right
to
vote. Yeah.
And again, Art Nouveau. Thanks, guys.
Isn't it wonderful that she drew this deck, and she probably had no idea that decades later,
right?
People
and
still
she got paid barely anything for it. Crazy. But she changed the world, didn't she?
Yes.
Literally had a hand in healing, in advancement, in enlightenment. She had a hand in that. She was very metaphysical. They considered her to be a part of the occult back then,
Yeah.
right? So, but very metaphysical on all levels. So that's what I have on her.
So I'm getting some funny things about her. I feel like she had a wild or a wicked sense of humor, because she's saying to me that she's saying, well, first of all, she's saying she loved parties. She liked to go to parties, and she loved dressing up, and she loved to, but she's saying she loved, she loved to, like, freak people out with, like, people were kind of put off by her because she was part of the occult, and she was part of, and so she would play up that to try to, like, freak people out and, like, make them a little bit, like, uncomfortable, nervous. She thought it was funny. She thought it was fun. It was all really fun for her. She's just saying, like, I loved all of that stuff, and that it was so easy to, when I started working on this deck, it was so easy to work with it, because I feel like she was given just instructions, but she was also putting her flair, and it was just like, it was just coming like boom, 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 boom. There was something really,
I think she was
interesting going on. Yeah. But she's saying it was so much fun, and so pretty fast process, but really fun and very exhilarating. Just really an exciting project to work on, the cards. But this, and she loved color, something about lots and lots of color. She liked to wear lots of colors, and she liked to work in color. Yeah. So, but she seems like she's funny.
Yeah.
She's
I'd say definitely connected. Wise beyond years.
Yes.
On a quest. This was her destiny. Full of creation, connected to source, and extremely artistic.
Yep. Yeah, and very connected.
Very connected.
You
and
guys,
she followed her passion. That was the other thing too. So she when she tapped in, she's like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm an artist. Which again,
not only she was able to take in this and be able to put it on these cards. And I know this isn't one of the cards, but it's still a lot of the same symbolism. But to bring into all the detail of symbolism, knowing that there are so many layers to this, that this would be a living piece of art, that every time that this piece of art is picked up and read, comes a new life or a new message. It's a living piece of art. And for her to be able to create something like that, that you are absolutely divinely connected. And I also, you guys really, can you check in on this? Because I'm still getting the feeling, I can't get away from this. It doesn't have to be like that she was living now and then jumped back into a time machine and lived out her days there to bring this in. But there's something that she keeps bringing that in for me right here, that she was brought in to that time period, but she was from a different time period, you guys. I don't know how that works or if that's real. I've never heard of this as being real. You've seen it in movies, that's it. But she's making it like,
Debbie, do you think what she's talking, do you think she's one of those, like what, how they say, like a walk-in? Do you think she's one of those?
A walk-in. Interesting. Let's see.
Because I got that she was very wise beyond her years. So,
yes,
so that like bigger knowledge or an entity maybe that knows a lot.
Because she is absolutely not from that time zone. I'm just saying. She keeps bringing this in, and she's not letting it go. It's like this thing she wants to tell us about. She's like, you guys, I was not from that time zone.
Henson says a portal. Did she travel through a portal?
Portal? No. Like, I don't know how this all works, guys.
Something to do with fairies. Melinda says Native Americans, you can go into a deep sleep and can travel through time. Anything like that?
Interesting.
Well, she lived out the rest of her time there, but she's saying she wasn't from that time.
I agree with you, Barb. I got a Janis Joplin feel with her too when I saw her picture.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that kind of, and I agree with you, T. Barb, with that. It looked like it was just that vibe or something.
Has she? Everybody's asking if she's returned, if she's come back.
Oh, was it her reincarnated? I don't know if it was her reincarnated. I think they were cut from the same cloth. I think they had that. There was a similarity there because I feel like she's saying for the when and of course she's talking to me. I don't like read cards like you guys do, but she's saying when you use the card, those cards, that she's like, have fun with them, enjoy them, really embrace the humor in them is what she's saying. It's like don't be too serious when you're doing the cards. Try to see the it will show layers if you do this. If you have fun with it, be open. Don't get so clouded down with like the seriousness of this or that. Bring out the joy and the fun and the color and the notice the little things, that kind of thing, and you'll get accurate results. That's how they're supposed to be. That's the energy with which she was hoping to create them.
Yep, and she absolutely has come back. She said, is what I'm getting. That yes. So a few people ask if she is coming back or has come back.
What's a walk-in? Because I just thought I saw it, so I just asked to clarify. Bullseye. What's a walk-in? I don't know if I know that word.
A walk-in, well, from what I understand, a walk-in is a spirit that is here in a person that decides they don't want to be here anymore. And another spirit will come in and walk in. And a lot of times those spirits that walk in come in at a certain age, and from that age before, they don't have any memory. They have no memory of their life. So they're a walk-in. That's at least one of the traits of a walk-in, is they don't remember they don't have childhood memories, because they're walking in and like later in life, and then the other spirit leaves.
Whoa, you are blowing my mind. Because I saw something strange, and if I could find the card again, I'd show you. Yeah, here. So this was the first thing I got. Change, and the flower would be her, and the bullseye. And I changed. She changed. I said, is she a walk-in? And then the bullseye came out as its own card first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So maybe there's something about that. Like, maybe that's it. Maybe someone or spirit from the future stepped in or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
I wonder if
again, I know nothing about this. I've never seen this before. This seems to happen to us on this channel. We have to experience this together. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is brand new. I don't even understand it. However, yeah, because she was really, she's like, I was not from this time period. Do you understand? Like, I literally, she came in from another time period into this time period.
So Jezebel was putting that up. She's right. Time isn't linear, right? So it, we think of like, oh, if I was in if I would lived in the French Revolution and I lived in, the Civil War, you could actually be in the Civil War and then go back to the French Revolution and then come here. It's not. It is like that. What does your friend Bob say about the Akashic records like that, Andrea?
Yeah, you can hop around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that's what this is.
There you go.
He hasn't seen it too often. I think he said, don't quote me on that, but it does happen where people can be from the future and go back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well,
There you go.
I think we just met one. We'll have to ask Bob to dive deep dive on this.
And
So,
Dolores Cannon talks about it. You're right. It's
Wow.
So I asked for her to for Pamela to pull some cards for us, because since she made these, and I know these aren't hers, but she likes them. They're very similar. They're based off of her work. But the theme, the first card out was the lovers, and so this is, I think, part of our message is this is kind of why we are here. It's all about love. And I know we get this message a lot, and it's a theme here on Monday night that it's all about love, guys. And so it's understanding this, and it's not just about loving others. Literally, it's about learning to love yourself and align yourself, being aligned with the universe, spirit, God, and that connection. That you are connected to. You're perfect, and to step into that first. Once you understand this alignment, I mean, we love everyone. I love everyone, but if you break it down, unless I truly can love my alignment in spirit and who I am, I can't purely and truly fully love another. So we're here journeying. So this is what it's all about. So keep working on that, and that more and more enlightenment will come to you within that. And
That's such a similar message to one Mary Magdalene too. When she said, "It's so simple. It's so simple.
Simple.
It goes back to just the simple messages." But yeah, exactly, Debbie. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Real love to give love. Exactly.
Yeah. But you had more. What was your?
I just put them away. But anyway, so the rest was basically. It's all connected. You bring it all together, and that family is important. These things are important, so nurture that. Nurture the areas that you can create a space of love and foster that. And that was with the Queen of Wands at the end. So we had the Six of Cups, right? The Six of Cups, and then the Queen of Wands. And so that was the rest of her message, I feel. Makes sense.
That's awesome.
But yeah, she's awesome. I would love to hang out with her.
She
would stretch you. She'd stretch your brain. She has a bit of a very sorcery feel to her as well. So,
I was wondering if there was like a wizard kind of feeling.
Yeah, like a wizard, sorcerer type feel to her as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melinda. I'm hugging you right back, Melinda.
And she'd have a drink with you as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
She's like,
for sure.
She's a magical being. She's a different sensation than Princess Diana was, but she's something that we're tapping into new things here. It's pretty exciting.
But three ladies that affected the world in their own way, completely different ways.
Exactly.
All affected, one through like music and that kind of the arts, and then this other figure, this Lady Diana figure that was such a force of love in such a cold environment, and then this pixie, this little pixie.
No, and she was like, if you want to run through the forest naked, let's go. I mean, she totally into all that. Yeah,
I think I'm seeing an orb over here, but
you probably are.
I was just thinking that each woman, there was an issue about self-love. So Barbra Streisand conquered hers, right? She said, no, I'm not changing.
Mm-hmm.
Diana struggled with hers, but we understand that was it for a bigger purpose, right?
Right.
It made her relatable, etc. And that was her, whatever her journey was. And then Pixie, I think she dug herself. She dug her own vibe, you know what I mean? And she loved her art and she trusted herself.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome, guys.
This is amazing.
I
know. I love it.
I love it too.
It is always so interesting how the messages come together with them. Because I always think, oh, these people are so different. How is this going to work? And then it just does.
Big messages about love, and it all starts with you. Love yourself.
Exactly.
Melissa says Pixie is a portal. She is a portal, she said. That's an interesting concept as well.
You know, because each of the images she drew for that card say so much. There's so much in just one card that she'd have to have something, she'd have to have other knowledge to know that would translate through decades.
Right.
Different people all over the world using her deck and connecting to the images in those cards. So there's some kind of power there.
Yeah.
So when are you on vacation, Miss Kim?
Me?
Kim.
Oh,
me?
Kim, she's living.
I'll be leaving in July 5th. I'll be leaving. Okay. And then I can do a couple of ladies' nights while I'm there, and then I might take a day off. Yeah, because we'll be locked down for 10 days, so I will be looking for things to do.
Thank you, Catherine. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Pixie. That was fascinating. What an inspired show. What an inspired.
Really, really great.
Yeah. Love that. And we will be back on next Monday on Debbie's channel with 3 more ladies.
Lovely ladies, yeah. And just send us emails if you have ideas, or we will consider them. We've done this before from people, so yeah.
Oh, yep.
I'm going to see my daughter in England, in the UK. She's been there for a year and a half. We haven't seen her. We're going to see her.
Yeah.
Come hell or high water, we're going to see her.
Everybody back away.
Mama's going to go see the girl. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Have a good night. Have a good week. And we will talk to you next week. Bye, guys. Bye.